Yeah, sure. Yeah. Do you know anything about Web3? Oh, yeah. Cryptocurrency. What is it? All right, let's talk about Web3. It's decentralized compute is the idea. So in traditional enterprise compute, you've got different systems. All right, so let's see. I think we can draw some of this. Let's walk through Web3. We're going to talk about Web3 now. Changing the subject, but actually it's totally fine. So here we've got we can go into a Scala draw, and we'll draw some pictures. We'll get this going here. So let me see here. Click on that. All right, so this is from a previous Scala draw. Let's do it. Let's erase everything because we don't need this anymore. Erase from last time. Where's the erase button? I know there's a giant erase button. There. Is this it? No, that's just a little bit of erase. I want to erase all of it. Reset canvas. Perfect. Here we go. All right. So Web3. We're talking about Web3. Before we do that, Milan asked a question about Web3. So let's do Web3 really quick. We'll do Web3, and this is going to be we're talking about we need to compare it to traditional as well. So we've got a traditional stack. So we've got what is it? Traditional stack. Here we go. And then the Web3 stack, which is, it's basically the same thing, but Web3 is decentralized, right? Web3 stack. So the idea is between the two, let's quick though, we want to talk about Web3 and how it's different. So you've got Web 2, I guess, which is traditional internet, but Web 3 is also on top of the existing internet. So it's not like there's anything magic going on there. It's just a different way of computing. We've got user and we've got another user. And so it's how do the users interact? So in order to get resources or do work or request data from a website, in the traditional stack, you would have a server here, and then they would just make a simple request, right? Just pop, and then they would get a response from the web server, just really quick and simple and easy like that. So traditional web, right? Traditional stack. Just draw Web3 stack. Yeah. Okay. So the Web3 stack. Check this out. It's actually very similar. So there are still servers, but they actually look different. So it's kind of like this. Let's look at like this. I mean, there are as well in the enterprise. There's multiple servers, but they're kind of orderly, and you'll round robin, and it's centrally controlled. But in the Web3 world, you've got servers that are just kind of all over the place, and they're distributed. And the user will connect to different ones based on whatever kind of consensus algorithm exists. And the cool part is these servers can come and go, and anyone can own them and run them. It's kind of like Bitcoin. You can run a Bitcoin miner, or which joins the network to compute hashes to help support not only compute the next block, which means they can append exchanges of currency into the ledger. It's the same idea, but instead of just being a spreadsheet in Web3 world, the idea of Web3 world is to replace all the compute tasks. So instead of just being a spreadsheet that's a ledger like Bitcoin, it can do all the things. So this is like the next evolution of distributed compute for cryptocurrency. So you can do things like, for example, the server could be for database, a database. It can also be like images, like image assets. You could also do compute. So you have what they're like smart contracts, right? So smart contracts and different things like that. But that's kind of the idea of Web3 is it's more of a distributed model from a consensus perspective, and it's less efficient right now in multiple ways. I haven't gotten into it to see if there's been any innovations. Quick, let's see. Let me know if I described enough details about Web3. I went through like light speed. And I know I missed a lot of details. So just let me know. But basically, the idea is Web3 stack. That's like a quick overview of Web3 compared to traditional. But the idea is we can get distributed compute and data and files all through a blockchain, essentially, for a decentralized compute offering. And anyone can join the network. Anyone can serve and power the network. But traditional is the private servers, data is owned by companies. for this reach outer space alien servers. Yeah, I mean, technically, like if you're jumping back over to the Web3, technically, yeah. It could, as long as it's connected to the internet, I suppose. So you're specifically saying programming language when it comes to creating your own user interface. So you'll probably want to, it depends on what platform you want to deploy on. Are you going to do web? Then obviously it's going to be JavaScript, CSS, and HTML application. There's some really cool Rust-based Chromium, highly performant application platforms that you can use. I forgot what was the Rust-based. It's like the alternative towards Electron. So Electron will be for desktop apps, right? So let's see, Electron, but with Rust. It's called Electron, but with Rust. Let's see if the internet can figure it out for us. So you could probably use Claude to build the UI for you, and probably do an HTML, CSS. Then you can use Python with Flask or something to build a local web server, and then use SQLite to store all of your information on your RPG. So that way you'd be able to keep your RPG going and track all of your RPG progress and things like that. That's probably a good stack. So you'd use Flask for Python, or Fast API. That could also work. And then SQLite. There you go. That's the one. Number 2, do you think being a cybersecurity specialist or ethical hacker helps in Web3 technology? Yeah, in a way. Most of the, actually probably since the code is open source for Web3, for the most part, I mean, it has to be because it's distributed. Everyone needs to be able to know what they're running on their computers to be part of the cluster, the distributed compute system. There's a lot to read there from a security perspective. So there was a lot of eyes on it.